Hi, it's Chris Davison, and I want to give you an example of trading an automated trendline break on this pair, which is the Aussie US dollar, where we've got a movement which is now over 1,000 candles away from the 800 simple moving average. And I'm going to use Trendline Laboratory beta test version. Just going to put my key in here. What I'm going to do, this is a live account, so I'm going to say true. I'm going to, because I'm still testing this, I'm only going to use a small lot size. I'm going to say stop loss pips. If I set to 0, it will use a recent high. I'm not going to trail it or use a move to break even. For the take profit, I'm going to set to 0 because then it will use the 800 simple moving average. I only want it to trade short, although it should do that anyway. What I'm going to do is use the Boscillator and say I don't want to trade with the trend. I want to trade counter trend, i.e. back towards the 800. And as long as the Boscillator reading is over 750, which I know it is, that's fine. I'm not going to check on risk to reward. I'm just going to let it run. We know that the EA is working because we've got a smiley face, and we know that on this 5-minute chart the Boscillator reading is in the zone. So now all we've got to do is, in fact, one thing I will do, I'm going to get it to display the trend lines that it's currently seeing, which will make it easier to understand. And it should do that when the next 5 minutes bars up. I'm going to pause this now, otherwise I'll take up an awful lot of megabytes. But we'll see what happens with this trade. Okay, so the EA has now drawn all the trend lines it can see on a chart, the potential trend lines. Now it's drawn, it'll only take breaks through trend lines that are connected through lows that haven't been broken before. So all of these ones up here, while they're valid trend lines for if I was trending with the trade, this is the only one that's valid for the trade I'm looking for. The reason it's plotted quite a few different ones is because as candles form, some of these will be cancelled out. So what you'll end up seeing is only a set of trend lines which are sensibly valid. Normally you wouldn't see this unless you chose to. This is really just so you can see the internal workings of the kind of trend line it is looking for. And certainly this, of all the trend line that's drawn so far, this is the one that we're looking to trade. So let's put it back to a view so we can see the 800. And if it did break this shortly, what would happen is it would probably choose something. This is the most recent high, and this would be the target, and it would enter a trade. We've now just got to wait for price to do something. So just a quick update. As you can see, a few candles in, and price has made a new high, which has eliminated some of the old trend lines we had here. Equally, because we've got a new low formed here, or under the rules of the Trendline Laboratory, we've now got these potential trend lines to the downside. It will take a reasonable close below these to trigger a trade, not just a little dribbly over the line effort. So 800 simple moving average is still down here. If it opened a trade now, it would probably use this high as a stop loss. Let's pause it again and see what happens. Right, well, as you can see, the excitement's building. If we've got a candle that's moving down, the trade will only open on the close below one of those trend lines, so it can dip down and bounce back up, and that won't open the trade. And I've no idea when the next candle is due to be formed, so it could be here for quite some time, but let's see what happens. And there we go. The trade is opened. That was the bright red line is the trend line that broke. It has indeed put the stop loss above the recent high, and the take profit by the 800 simple moving average, and this, as the moving average moves up, it will trail this profit with it. So there you have it. Successful trade opened by Trendline Laboratory. Whilst I'd like to say I was doing something more useful, but I wasn't. I was sitting here watching the whole thing happen, but I could have been doing something more useful. Thank you for watching.